See what the folks are doing. There we go. Good day, YouTube. Good to have you today. Feels like too many, except the one I enjoy. Yeah. Well, here we are. Once again, if you're checking here on YouTube and you're watching the playback here, the actual show will not start here for about 15 minutes, so you can skip ahead at that point. If you're already on YouTube, well, there you are. Have fun. Have fun watching for the next few minutes as I prep and get some things ready for the show. And hope my guests are awake and ready to go. Had a great sale here at the Wicks Barn south of Richardson. Congratulations, Wassam family. That was just a fun day right there. Good sale. Talked to Travis and Rebecca on the Smith Saddle Butte sale. Again, another good sale. That was in Bowman, so a good deal. I'm glad to see how everybody's doing well on that. Coming up, here was, let's see here, Saturday, March 7th, I'll be in Williston. I'll be at the Sitting Bull auction for the DK Red Angus Ranch. And Scott Kiefler and family up there. That is March 7th, and the following week, March 12th, at Stockman's Livestock in Dickinson for the Schrieffer Red Angus sale. And, of course, coming up is the second auction of the North Dakota Fur Takers that I'll be the auctioneer for. So there you have it. Let's see. That's about all I got for you for information this morning. All right. We got you loud and clear on YouTube. Thanks, Mike, for giving me audio test. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. What else here? Oh, John Palczewski turned 50 yesterday, I think. Let's see. Those are all done. What else? 45 degrees yesterday, which was nice. Enjoyed that. Morning, Karen. Koly, Mobridge. Wonder if she's going to buy steak when we come down and fish this summer. I think you should, Karen. High-paying radio job of yours. Every Saturday morning announcer. Shop ventilation day. Like cutting vents in is what you're saying? Is that what you're doing? All right, we got a steak lined up. Good deal. Cutting vents in. Nice. Good deal. Have fun. What did I have else? I got something else going on today. What was that? Oh, man. Excuse me. Man. I didn't get, I got bed late last night. Also, I'm selling furs tomorrow. That's what's going on. Where? Let's see what time I got to be there. Petska Fur. Let's see. I got to take my antlers along with me here, February 23. Hey, Chuck. Good to see you up here. KGFX, ready to rock and roll. Let's see here. Petska, Highmore, South Dakota to Bismarck. That's not the route. Eastern Montana, I think, is my route. There it is. Let's see. Medora. Oh, Beach, Medora, Belfield. Wait a second. They may have just canceled my my fur trip. Justin, good morning. Waylon, NRA banquet tonight in Bismarck. Doors open at 5. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for the info. I'll share that along when we get on the air. That's funny. Helped for 10 years on those things, and then, yeah, I think my fur route got canceled, man. What the heck? Huh. Okay. I might be taking them up to the fur auction now. Petska's done. There you have it. There you got it. I have to sell my fur somewhere else. Just the way it's going to have to be. Because I know Hanson fur comes over there from Columbia, South Dakota. Let's see when they're going to be here. Events. I think it's kind of at the end of the fur buying season here. I waited too long. South Dakota route. That's over by Watertown. Ashley Wishick, Hazelton, Sterling Wing. Now you're free up to come up and help. Yeah, I figured you'd catch that. I figured. Mott Elgin. Well, Jesse, they're up at Hazen. This is not correct. That's Tuesday, February 25 is, let's see here. I'll be in Dickinson. Huh. Oh, well. Steak. Rick Mitladder from Tappan. Give me a nice price. Okay. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that. Send me his phone number, too. Actually, I'm probably going to see him at the fur auction. I'm guessing that. Could possibly just do that. Steak, Jesse. Bruce. Bruce is ready. 652. Huh. That's a different number than I had before. Fair enough. All right, I'm going to call my first guest here. So if you're watching on YouTube, well, have fun watching that. See if they're awake. Morning, Trenton. Good. How are you? Another beautiful day on the western side of the states, huh? Golly, what did it get up to down there yesterday? Yeah, that's what we had too. Hit 45 and felt pretty good. A little windy, but felt pretty darn good. Now, nice. Quite a bit of snow left down in the hills. Yeah. Yeah, I can't see how Terry Peak. I mean, I was down there about a month ago, and they were just well over New Year's. I was down there, and they just got like 6 or 8 inches in Leeds, Deadwood area, and they were just snow all over the place. And then the next day, it was like almost 55 degrees again. I don't know how they can keep that place open all the time like that. Yeah, yeah. Which makes it easier to track mountain lions, I suppose. Yeah. Right. Did you see the one that was just north of Hettinger up here across on the border of North Dakota? Yeah, there's been. I don't know why our game and fish doesn't let us know how many have been taken in Zone 2, which is the rest of the state outside of the Badlands, but there's been a lot of them. Yeah, just in a couple like that Hettinger area. My buddy's on his place. He lost 5 calves here this fall, and he was wondering how he's losing five, big 500-600 pound cattle. And deer season opened up, and the guy shot one right in that guy's place, and this other one, and it's been a couple in Bismarck, a few in Fargo, and it'd be nice to have that total. Just as kind of good information. Well, I'm going to switch you over to the other side here so I can get you through my mixer. Stand by, sir. All right. Can you hear me through this side, Trenton?
Yep, I got you.
Right. All right. We are live on YouTube, by the way, just so you know. Before we go, we have a 4.5 minutes before we go on radio.
Sure.
YouTube is feeding live right now. So if you want to choose somebody out, it's going to be on YouTube.
Okay.
So you're stationed out of Spearfish, or are you out of Rapid?
No, I'm out of Rapid City.
You're out of Rapid. Okay. Is there anybody in the Spearfish area or Bellefouche area?
Yeah, we've got all of our game wardens live in their districts. We've got a game warden in Bellefouche, and then there's a game warden supervisor and a game warden out of the Spearfish office, as well as one of our state trappers.
Who's the game warden for up in Harding County?
It's game warden by committee right now. We haven't had an actual game warden devoted to Harding County for several years now.
Okay. Yeah. All righty. Hope do the people in Harding County know that?
Yeah,
they kind of police themselves, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
It's a rough and tough crowd.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure. I'm sure the county sheriff helps out with some of that.
Yeah, and we don't have a state trapper up there right now. He should be starting here in about a month. We'll get a new one. So that helps too, just having someone that they can go to if they've got damage complaints or something.
Yeah, but South Dakota, it's legal for landowners to go up in airplanes and shoot coyotes, right?
There's a little permitting process, but yeah.
Okay.
In a roundabout sort of way they can do it. Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
And we've got a couple of guys that do, but anymore we're seeing, the crew of guys that wanted to do that or was able to do that are getting pretty old, and some of them can't pass their medical anymore. So that crew of folks is shrinking.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you don't see many people doing it much anymore.
No.
I know North Dakota, it's a little bit more stringent. I think there's only like 2 or 3 people that are allowed to do it in the state, I think.
Okay.
And yeah, you just don't hardly ever see that happening. Which probably is, good one way and bad the other way, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely nice when guys can go up and, if they can fly their place and their neighbor's place and kind of help themselves out, take care of their own problem. It helps us out, I guess. We don't have to go up there and work on their place then.
Yeah, well, I like that thought process. I like that idea. getting close to calving season for me, so I've been going out and furs. They can't really sell the fur anymore. That's pretty much done, so.
Yeah. Did you guys have, what did your cows look like this year?
Really nice. Yeah, really good. Yeah, I still have a freezer full. I'm trying to find a fur buyer here. I kind of, every time the buyer was coming through my area, I was gone doing something else, but what do you do?
Yeah.
Got a fur auction.
So we had lice and mange real bad this year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of fur that wasn't worth anything.
Oh. No, I was very lucky, I guess. I didn't have a single one that I skinned out that had lice in it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was all right. Yeah, I did a fur auction in January. The top lot sold for $205 a piece.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was crazy. It was, the previous year, I think the highest lot I sold was $130 a piece. And at that time, they were like, holy cow, the price is awesome. Right. And then the broke the $200 mark on that. And that was, yeah.
Well, so much for the rumor that fur prices were going to go down, right?
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how it's going to fare out here now with the NAFTA closing up in Canada and see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, obviously these guys must have an outlet or a venue for it, or they wouldn't be paying that kind of money for
it. Exactly.
So.
All right, so we got about 40 seconds, and we're going to get going here. So I'm going to turn you down, and I'm going to get ready for the intro. So stand by, please. Radio stations, 30 seconds on mark. 30 seconds. 15-second mark coming up here, and 15 in mark. 15 seconds. There we go. We got 5 seconds. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors. You're listening to it on great radio stations all across the Dakota Territory. KGFX in Pierce, South Dakota. KOLY in Beaubridge. We have KFYR in Bismarck, KCJB, Minot, and KLTC, Dickinson, North Dakota. Good to have you along here this morning, as well as everybody on YouTube. Good to see you this morning and chatting with you at the same time. My YouTube channel, if you want to go back and watch and listen to any of these, is Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. And big thanks to the Wassum family this past week. The Wassum Red Angus sale up in the Wicks Barn in Richardson, North Dakota. Great sale, good family. It was a lot of fun. I appreciate you guys having me as one of your ringmen. Coming up here in Williston, Saturday, March 7th, is the DK Red Angus sale at the Sitting Bull auction in Williston. I'll be there, as well as in Stockman's Livestock in Dickinson on March 12th for the Schrieffer Red Angus sale. And, of course, March 21st, I'll be in Bismarck for part 2 of the North Dakota Fur Takers Association Wild Fur Auction. And kind of interesting to see if it's going to be a barn burner like it was the first time. Let's head down to the Black Hills of South Dakota. We got Trenton Heffley from the South Dakota Game, Fish, and Parks. Good morning, sir.
Morning, Scott.
How's everything in the Black Hills today? What did you say? It's going to get up to 55 today for you? Yeah.
Yeah, we got 55 and sunshine today, so can't complain.
Sunshine. Closer and closer to springtime, Trenton, and that means calving season around the corner, too. And we're going to talk about mountain lion stats here after a little bit because South Dakota, you're up to 34 total right now, it looks like, on your website. Yep. But you and I were talking coyotes here just before we went on air on the radio side of things, and you said your coyotes in that area were not so good a quality this winter, was it?
Yeah, we definitely had more reports of mange and lice than we have in the last couple of years. So not sure if that's just a local thing or what we're going to see going forward, but had some fur buyers turning some stuff down or paying pretty low prices for a lot of it. But we definitely had some top-end coyotes too.
Yeah. Is that coyote industry in the western side of South Dakota? And I know up in the Harding County area, there's a lot of people that go after coyotes there. But in the Black Hills, is there much for coyote hunting down there?
Yeah, it's not, I guess, for lack of effort. It's just a really difficult place to call.
Right.
With the logging practices and stuff, they tend to maintain a pretty dense understory. So for the most part, unless you're calling an old burn, you're probably better off with a shotgun than a rifle. They're going to be darn close before you see them.
Is the industry down there popping? And you know the price. I told you we sold a lot for $205 a piece here in Bismarck in January. Have you been hearing any prices down that side of the state?
I haven't really been hearing much for prices. You know, we've got a couple of local fur buyers, but a lot of the buyers that we have are they make big routes out of North Dakota or Montana or Nebraska. So
everybody wants this fur, Trenton.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah, we were a little bit worried that the market had kind of dried up here for this winter, but that does not seem to be the case.
That's amazing. You got, you know, like Petska fur out of Nebraska. You know, they don't buy anything down in their area. They come up through South Dakota, North Dakota, and eastern Montana and Wyoming, and then head back because that's the fur that they're looking for, or evidently, I guess. So, yeah. And in South Dakota, you know, for those listeners here, you and I were talking about management of coyotes, and in South Dakota versus North Dakota, you can landowners. You said there's a little bit of permitting process going through, but they can actually fly their own land and shoot coyotes out of an airplane down there.
Yep. Yeah. There's just a form you got to fill out and get a annual permit. But yeah, we allow folks to fly their own property and their adjacent neighbor's property.
Is there any way, like like myself, could I come down and jump in a plane and help with that or not? Is that just a resident only type of thing?
Yeah, it's resident only right now. But it's definitely coming up, you know, more and more that we're losing the residents who are able to do that. So if we've got non-residents who can, you know, why should we restrict them? So I think we're working in that direction, but there's going to be some hurdles before we actually get there.
Sure. Well, let's talk about mountain lions, man. I tell you what, 34 total right now, 20 females and 14 males is what I have on the South Dakota Game Fish and Parks website. Is that the totals or is that official right now?
Yep. That's what I'm looking at too. We've got 34 in our Black Hills district and 14 in what we call our Prairie district, or the rest of the state.
14 in the Prairie district, really?
Yeah.
Where do you see that? How can I find that information?
So that number won't get published until the end of the year. Yeah, we don't maintain a running total of that number.
Do you see more and more mountain lions starting to spread out of the Black Hills area? I mean, is that kind of a trend, or is that has that always been that way?
No, it's kind of always been that way. You know, the mountain lions that are harvested on the prairie are typically younger animals that are pioneering out of the Black Hills. So as our population in the Black Hills goes up, the number that pioneer out across the prairie increases. So, you know, back in 2011, 12, and 13, when we had a ton of mountain lions in the Black Hills, we saw a lot on the prairie. And then it's just picked up again now here in the last 2 or 3 years, the number of lions on the prairie.
Good. Is that something that is encouraging for the Game and Fish in South Dakota to look at, or do they not want them out in the prairie, I guess?
You know, so the reason we have our prairie season structure the way it is because we're not managing for or against the lions on the prairie. If they can go out there and find habitat, then, you know, great for them. If somebody tracks them down, sees some tracks in the snow, and they want to go harvest them, we want to give them that opportunity. So it's really not that we don't have an objective out there. We don't necessarily want to maintain a population out there, but if they get themselves established, then that's just how it's going to work.
And that season is open year round, though, in the prairie. Is that correct?
Correct. Yep, year round.
Year round on that. And the Black Hills, that ends here on April 30th, or until your quota is met, I guess you could say that. How's everything in Custer State Park? That's a different application process down there, isn't it?
So it's the same license, the same season, but you just have to apply for a free access permit.
Okay.
And that's how we regulate who can go in there with hounds and who goes in there just on foot.
Sure.
And I think so far we've harvested 6 lions out of Custer State Park.
Okay. And you do allow dogs. You do allow hounds, don't you?
Yeah. Yep. So the 6 that have been harvested have all been with hounds.
Okay.
In Custer State Park.
But have you ever talked to some of those guys that own hounds that do that?
Oh yeah.
They love it. It's like a game for them, man.
Yep.
It's
yep. Absolutely. In fact, most of them have never harvested a lion. They just love running their dogs. Yep.
And that's legal for them to do that. I mean, you guys don't frown upon that. That's okay for them to do that.
Yeah, I'm talking. You know, so their name or number gets out to these hunters that draw the access permit, and
okay.
So yep, they go. Very few of the guys who actually harvest lions in Custer State Park are using their own dogs.
You know, we had a advisory meeting a few years back about mountain lions, and I went to it here up in the western side of North Dakota, and there was a lot of hound guys from the eastern side of the state, and they were like, you know, we understand that mountain lions are kind of a pain for the ranchers, they said, but we just love running them. We just love going after them. It's a game for us, and the dogs evidently think it's a pretty fun game too.
Yeah, most of our houndsmen, you know, we can use hounds for bobcats and raccoons, obviously. So they work really hard with their dogs year round. And to actually get them on a mountain lion is a pretty big thrill for both the houndsmen and the hounds.
Do they have to have a separate permit to run dogs, or is that just something that you give that number out?
Yeah, so Game Fish and Parks doesn't maintain any kind of a database or anything. It's all word of mouth in the hunting community.
Perfect. Well, Trenton, stand by. We're up against our first break. We're going to come back, talk a little bit more about mountain lions, and take your calls. 888-9-DAKOTA if you'd like to call in, have a question. You can also text it to me at 701-425-6651. You could send it via Facebook message, YouTube message, and all kinds of messaging going on here. If you can't get in touch with me, I think it might be your fault. I'll be able to take those calls coming up. 888-9-DAKOTA, 932-5682. More on the way after these messages.
From big loans to small personal loans, you can bring your dreams into focus with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. We make getting a business or a personal loan so simple, you'll want to work with us time and time again. With competitive rates, we offer personal, ag, farm, business and commercial loans, home loans, and more. Stop into your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust for a quality, hometown community banking experience we pride ourselves in. Equal housing lender and member FDIC.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
The DK Red Angus production sale is coming to town on Saturday, March 7th at 2 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. Offering 57 purebred Red Angus bulls, 2 Red Angus Charolais composite bulls, 5 Red Angus Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered Red Angus yearling heifers, and 10 Red Angus commercial yearling heifers. With over 27 years in the Red Angus business and in the seed stock business for over 40 years, you can trust the Kiefler family. Join us on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming farm retirement equipment auctions featuring late model John Deere R-Series 4-wheel drive and track tractors, a 2019 DB60 corn planter, and more in Starbuck, Minnesota on March 12th. Then on March 21st and March 26th, Piper's will be offering an entire fleet of late model Case IH sprayers, quad tracks, 9230 combines, a Claas 750 combine, Challenger Series tractors, trucks, trailers, and more near Richardson in New England, North Dakota. For online bidding and complete details, log on to Pipers.com.
Cattle producers, it's time for the Schrieffer Red Angus production sale. Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. Stockman's Livestock, Dickinson, North Dakota. Selling 25 2-year-old bulls and 35 commercial open heifers. Videos and information can be found online at SchrieferRedAngus.com. Docile dispositions and bulls anybody can use. Make sure you attend the Schrieffer Red Angus annual production sale. Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. at Stockman's Livestock, Dickinson, North Dakota.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hey folks, join me on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota for the DK Red Angus production sale. 57 purebred Red Angus bulls offering sons of Rolling Deep 660, Thunder 637, Beavers, CL Atomic, and Top Notch 15, and many more. All bulls carcass ultrasounded and free delivery up to 500 miles. More information at dkredangus.net. Join the Kiefler family on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota.
Looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust has an experienced team of home loan professionals ready to put their services to work for you. We've been recognized statewide multiple times as a champion of affordable housing for mortgage lending. Therefore, we believe we are the best place to get a mortgage. Stop into your local branch or visit dakotacommunitybank.com to find out what their mortgage team can do for you. That's dakotacommunitybank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
If you're looking for bulls for the rancher, cattleman, and cowboy alike, you need to be at Stockman's Livestock for the Schrieffer Red Angus production sale. Join me at 1 p.m. March 12th at Stockman's Livestock as a family operation for over 30 years sells 25 two-year-old Red Angus bulls and 35 commercial open heifers. You can find videos and more information on their website at SchrieferRedAngus.com. Come on in to Stockman's Livestock Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time for the Schrieffer Red Angus annual production sale.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming farm retirement equipment auctions featuring late model John Deere R-Series four-wheel drive and track tractors, a 2019 DB60 corn planter, and more in Starbuck, Minnesota on March 12th. Then on March 21st and March 26th, Piper's will be offering an entire fleet of late model Case IH sprayers, quad tracks, 9230 combines, a Claas 750 combine, Challenger Series tractors, trucks, trailers, and more near Richardson in New England, North Dakota. For online bidding and complete details, log on to Piper's.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors coming in with music from Benny Paulson and Breaking 8. Check them out on YouTube or on iTunes. You can buy it from the iTunes store. Breaking 8 here. It's good to see him at the Wasam Red Angus sale as well. Thanks, Benny, for the music. Appreciate that. And if you're watching on YouTube, I do have permission, YouTube, to play that from the actual artist himself. But I know you're going to flag me anyway, so we'll go through that process of getting that done. Trenton Heffley from South Dakota Game Fish Parks is with me here. Welcome back, Trenton. And we were talking bobcats off air. And South Dakota, along with, I think, North Dakota, the same thing. It's a trend that you don't see many bobcats anymore, do you?
Yeah, not many. It'll be interesting to see what our harvest comes in at this year. Usually we see somewhere between 40 and 50 harvested in the Black Hills, and then our prairie harvest is pretty variable. We've had as many as 600, and I think as few as like 150 in the last 10 years. So it can be all over the board.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's one of the furs I still don't have in the office yet. I don't know, man. It's pretty rare that you ever see a. Well, got some feedback coming back. It's pretty rare that you ever see any of those coming in here. We have a phone call here, Trenton. If you're ready to take some phone calls.
Sure, you bet.
Okay, let's go here. Let's head up to Hazen. Welcome to the program. You're on with Trenton. Good morning.
Good morning, Trenton. Just got a question about South Dakota and these cats, especially the big cats. Do you guys require when someone takes a cat in the hills area, they have to report that to you guys? What happens with the carcass of that animal as far as the meat and everything else? How does that process go in South Dakota?
So a hunter who harvests a lion, whether it's Black Hills or prairie, has 24 hours to contact the department and get it checked in. All we do is take a small snippet of the tongue for DNA and weight, and we look at some other body characteristics to age it, and then, yep.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice, Scott?
There was a time where, it was probably early 2000s. We were doing a lot of research on mountain lions, and we wanted to try and look at reproduction. So we would take, if we had an adult female, we'd take the reproductive tract, but that's the only thing we've taken from lions.
Okay. Thanks for the information.
You bet. Thanks for the call. 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA if you want to call in. Toll-free number to ask some questions if you have any questions about fur bearing in South Dakota. Trent, you and I were talking about the weights of cats, and you're telling me, besides that 119-pound female that was taken in the first part of the season down there, most of your cats are roughly around that 80 to 90-pound weight, right? I mean, that's pretty typical for a Black Hills cat, female.
For adult females, yep. Yeah, we rarely see them over 100 pounds.
And the males, man, 132 pounds. I see a couple at 132. There's a 140-pounder. And but overall, those are kind of the middle-aged cats. I would be thinking like the 8-year-old cats or, the 7-9-year-old cats would be a little bit heavier. But it seems like that 3, 4, 5-year-old, I mean, is that their prime for most mountain lions, I guess?
Yeah, so with mountain lions, males in particular are really getting into their maturity at 3 years old.
Okay.
So they're still gaining weight, still putting on muscle. If you get a 3-year-old tom that you're checking in, you can start to see the big bulky shoulders and blocky head, but it's not until that, real 4, 5, 6 age category that you start seeing the definite male characteristics. And that's when you're looking at the 140, 150 pound toms.
Text comes in. It says, has there been any attacks from mountain lions on people in South Dakota that you know of?
So we've never confirmed an attack. We did have one, a few years ago. We had there was a bunch of folks came up. Obviously, the sheriff and our game wardens went up and investigated, but they were never able to confirm it was actually a mountain lion.
Okay.
But so yeah, no, nothing confirmed.
Another text says, I was told bobcat furs going for around $600. He says he finds it hard to believe. Has there been, do you have any prices? I guess we only sold one bobcat in January, but it wasn't a very nice one. So that wasn't a really good test of the market. But do you know any values of that down in South Dakota?
Nothing confirmed. We don't really start checking in with that until we check up on our fur bearer licenses here in a couple of months. I would suspect, though, that like we always see with bobcats, there's some pretty extreme variability. If you have just the perfect one that somebody's looking for, yeah, it's going to be I thought I'd heard somebody sold one for $1,200 here a little while ago.
One of my, I think this was about 3 years ago. One of my neighbors up here sold one for, I think it was $850 on carcass. So people are wanting them somewhere, I guess. They are nice furs. Wouldn't mind having like I said, need one of those in my studio here, a mountain lion, and I need a bobcat fur now. Gotta go out and do some more hunting. 8-month-old male taken here in Lawrence County in 56 pounder. And you were talking about good chance that the spots are gone on that one already.
Yeah, for the most part, those spots are really gone. So as the thing's laying there on the table, checking it in, we probably could find spots on it if we really looked at it. But for someone to see that in the field while they're hunting, no way would we expect them to be able to pick out spots on a cat that old.
Are you finding the average age of your cats in a certain age bracket? Are they getting younger, or are they kind of staying right where they always were? Or what are you looking at?
We do track the age. That's one of the indices that we use for monitoring the population. I don't have that chart right in front of me here.
Sure.
And we look at particularly the age of our harvested females. We want to make sure that we aren't hitting those really old females too hard. And looking at our last couple years of harvest, we've had so few adult females. It's not been the greatest data set. I think last year we had 3 or 4 adult females, and one of them was 13 years old. So that kind of skewed things really high. But this will be a good year now with 20-some females. We'll have a pretty good average.
What do you consider an adult female? What age bracket?
So they have to have lactated, and that's one of the reasons that we require that check-in.
Okay.
So a female could be, looking at her teeth, we could age her at 4 or 5 years old, but until she's actually lactated and had kittens, we won't call her an adult.
Okay.
Usually it happens about 2.5 or 3, somewhere in there.
And you said you use, let's see, your text messages coming in here. I need a tanned pocket gopher in my studio. Yeah, I got plenty of them out in the hayfield here, so I could definitely get that. You said you use age to determine population. Could you explain that a little bit more?
Well, so because mountain lions are so secretive, it's really tough for us to come up with any kind of a estimate. And we do produce an annual estimate, but it's got some pretty wide confidence intervals on it. Sure. So rather than just sticking with our population estimate, we use average age of harvest, number of vehicle killed lions. There's about 6 or 8 different indices that we track, and they all kind of generally point in the same direction. Either the population is going up or going down. And usually, if we have a significant number of older age females harvested, we can kind of expect that our population is going to trend down because we're losing a pretty significant cohort of our breeding age females.
So the more younger cats that you get, the younger females mean the population is steady or improving. More older cats means it's going down.
Yeah, if that's what's showing up in our harvest. Yep,
okay.
Roughly.
Okay, all right. I've always been curious on that because, using the age to determine population has never really been explained before. So I appreciate you telling me about that. And let's see here. Yeah, 20 females, 14 males, 34 total right now in the Black Hills. Plus, how many did you say on the prairie? The rest of the state, you said?
I think it was, let me check.
14, I thought you said?
14, yep.
Okay, so good number. What's the furthest east a cat's been taken in South Dakota?
This year or ever?
This year.
Well, I think we had one in Yankton County, which would probably be the furthest east.
Yeah, way down southeast area. You bet.
Yep.
All right. Well, Trent, I appreciate you coming on the program, taking time on a Saturday, especially a beautiful Saturday morning. You'll probably go out snowboarding, I suppose, right?
I'm actually about ready to jump in a helicopter and try and count some elk. So
nice. All right. Well, hey, I'll let you run. You have yourself a good weekend. Thank you.
All right. Yep. Thanks, Scott.
Trenton Heffley from the South Dakota Game and Fish out of the Rapid City area. And you bet you can get your calls and text messages. 701-425-6651 is my cell phone. And the call-in number here is 888-932-5682. And second half of the show coming up, we're going to be talking Wild Fur Auction Round 2 in Bismarck. And I guess there's some rumors we're not having it. That's a bunch of phooey. We're going to be having that fur auction and having a good time March 21st. That's coming up your way here shortly. So have your until we come out in the second half of the program, we'll be back right after these messages.
From big loans to small personal loans, you can bring your dreams into focus with Dakota Community Bank and Trust. We make getting a business or a personal loan so simple, you'll want to work with us time and time again. With competitive rates, we offer personal, ag, farm, business and commercial loans, home loans, and more. Stop into your local Dakota Community Bank and Trust for a quality, hometown community banking experience we pride ourselves in. Equal housing lender and member FDIC.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
The DK Red Angus production sale is coming to town on Saturday, March 7th at 2 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota. Offering 57 purebred Red Angus bulls, 2 Red Angus Charolais composite bulls, 5 Red Angus Simmental composite bulls, 50 registered Red Angus yearling heifers, and 10 Red Angus commercial yearling heifers. With over 27 years in the Red Angus business and in the seed stock business for over 40 years, you can trust the Kiefler family. Join us on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming farm retirement equipment auctions featuring late model John Deere R-Series 4-wheel drive and track tractors, a 2019 DB60 corn planter, and more in Starbuck, Minnesota on March 12th. Then on March 21st and March 26th, Piper's will be offering an entire fleet of late model Case IH sprayers, quad tracks, 9230 combines, a Claas 750 combine, Challenger Series tractors, trucks, trailers, and more near Richardson in New England, North Dakota. For online bidding and complete details, log on to Pipers.com.
Cattle producers, it's time for the Schrieffer Red Angus production sale. Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. Stockman's Livestock, Dickinson, North Dakota. Selling 25 2-year-old bulls and 35 commercial open heifers. Videos and information can be found online at SchrieferRedAngus.com. Docile dispositions and bulls anybody can use. Make sure you attend the Schrieffer Red Angus annual production sale. Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. at Stockman's Livestock, Dickinson, North Dakota.
We want amazing innovations to drive progress for generations. We want jobs and careers for generations. We want American energy production that protects our land and the wildlife for generations. Today, the advanced technologies deployed by the North Dakota oil and gas producers are making that happen. And with the promise of emerging technologies, the energy of North Dakota has a very bright future for generations to come. This message is brought to you by the North Dakota Petroleum Council. To learn more, visit energyofnorthdakota.com.
Hey folks, join me on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time at Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota for the DK Red Angus production sale. 57 purebred Red Angus bulls offering sons of Rolling Deep 660, Thunder 637, Beavers, CL Atomic, and Top Notch 15, and many more. All bulls carcass ultrasounded and free delivery up to 500 miles. More information at dkredangus.net. Join the Kiefler family on Saturday, March 7th, 2 p.m. Central Time, Sitting Bull Auction, Williston, North Dakota.
Looking for a home loan? Dakota Community Bank and Trust has an experienced team of home loan professionals ready to put their services to work for you. We've been recognized statewide multiple times as a champion of affordable housing for mortgage lending. Therefore, we believe we are the best place to get a mortgage. Stop into your local branch or visit dakotacommunitybank.com to find out what their mortgage team can do for you. That's dakotacommunitybank.com. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
If you're looking for bulls for the rancher, cattleman, and cowboy alike, you need to be at Stockman's Livestock for the Schrieffer Red Angus production sale. Join me at 1 p.m. March 12th at Stockman's Livestock as a family operation for over 30 years sells 25 two-year-old Red Angus bulls and 35 commercial open heifers. You can find videos and more information on their website at SchrieferRedAngus.com. Come on in to Stockman's Livestock Thursday, March 12th, 1 p.m. Mountain Time for the Schrieffer Red Angus annual production sale.
Hi, this is Andy Murdoch with Piper's Auctioneers, inviting you to any one of these exceptional upcoming farm retirement equipment auctions featuring late model John Deere R-Series four-wheel drive and track tractors, a 2019 DB60 corn planter, and more in Starbuck, Minnesota on March 12th. Then on March 21st and March 26th, Piper's will be offering an entire fleet of late model Case IH sprayers, quad tracks, 9230 combines, a Claas 750 combine, Challenger Series tractors, trucks, trailers, and more near Richardson in New England, North Dakota. For online bidding and complete details, log on to Pipers.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Yes, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues all across the Dakota Territory, all the way from Pierre to Minot. The Missouri River Basin is covered. 6 states, a couple Canadian provinces. Glad to have you along for the ride here. Also on YouTube at Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. Good to have you along here today. And just a reminder, if you want to catch me at a bull sale, the DK Red Angus sale, Saturday, March 7th at Sitting Bull Auction in Williston, North Dakota, and also the Schrieffer Red Angus sale coming up on Thursday, March 12th. That'll be at Stockman's Livestock in Dickinson. And if you miss me at those sales, you can always catch me at the Wild Fur Auction in Bismarck at the 4-H Center, at the Burleigh County 4-H Center, that is, on March 21st. With me is Bruce Williard from the North Dakota Fur Takers. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good.
What's where again are you living at? You're in that Carrington area, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I feel sorry for you having to be on that side of the river with all the snow and all that. When I'm looking at Bullion Butte right now, and there's no snow on Bullion Butte. It looks nice. It looks like we're ready to start spring calving here pretty shortly. So
when I look down to Brush Hill, it's really white.
Yeah. Isn't that something? How much more snow both North and South Dakota on the eastern side of that river have you guys gotten? It's just unbelievable this year.
Oh yes.
But it makes it easier to track coyotes that you maybe shot in the paunch and can't, have to track it a little bit further. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Got to find the bright side of it, right?
Yeah, it's pretty dim bright.
It's one of the old light bulb bright, not the LEDs one, though, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, if people want to call in and ask questions about the wild fur auction coming up here in Bismarck, feel free. My toll-free number is 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. Or you can text questions to my cell phone at 701-425-6651. You could message it to me via Facebook, YouTube, and all the good social media platforms that are out there. So the rumor's been going around, Bruce. You said that somebody started a rumor that we're not having this sale. And that's a bunch of phooey, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I didn't realize that. I had a couple guys call me one week ago and then one the other day, and he says, well, our people have been asking him, are we having the sale? And they brought it to my attention, and so I thought it was maybe we should discuss our January sale.
Yeah. Get
it on the airwaves that we are having the sale. It's got posted on Trapper Man, that we are having the sale, and I don't know, it's just how it came about, but it's time to let people know that it is happening.
We are going to have it here. So let's talk about first off the January sale, which I thought was a barn burner. I'm thinking about not coming back next year and auctioning because I want to leave on a high note.
Yeah. Well, if we can, we're having you back, and if you're able to. So.
Oh yeah, that's no problem there. But so the sale in January, if the top quality, I think I had my sheet. I think I actually finally threw it out. I think the
top lots that sold was $205 a piece. And those top quality ones ranged anywhere from $150 to that $205. And the previous year, you had the high lot at $130. So I mean, we're looking at $70 to $80 more this year than last year for prices. Why is that, Bruce?
Well, the demand.
No, you're supposed to say that I was a good auctioneer, darn it.
Yeah, it was the auctioneer. First off, and then and the demand. And the harvest was, somewhat off last year from what it's been. And I think, just the weather conditions over such a large area, the harvest will be kind of light again this year. So they're just in demand for what, for the trim market, what they're doing with them. And we're seeing it in the prices that are being paid,
Yeah, and the lower quality ones brought the lower price. There's no doubt about that.
The buyers let you know what you had, and we're feeling very good from our first sale to now. We've been doing fur handling courses, letting them know how to do it. Our overall percentage of well handled, better looking coyotes is quite a bit higher than our first sale, and so on our end, we're feeling fairly confident also, letting our members know how to make them presentable for the buyers. Yeah. And I think the buyers are really happy of that, and they're showing how happy they are.
I got a message comes in. It says, "What's the cost to join so you can get into the sale?"
$20 is a membership for a yearly membership.
Okay.
And if you want to do a life membership, it's $150.
Okay. That gets you in the door. And if you have coyotes to sell, you can bring them in too, I guess, right?
Yep.
And,
yep.
4% commission is what you're paying on that.
Yes.
2% on no sales. And that's how that goes. Pretty simple, straightforward, easy to do. And we make sure that it stays simple during the auction too. I mean, if there's any discrepancies, we take care of it immediately. And then proceed after that. We don't wait until the end and try to swamp you guys with all the questions.
No, and then and you do an excellent job, Scott, and the buyers, when talking to the buyers before the January sale, and a lot of them asked me, "Are you having the same auctioneer as last year?" And I said, "Yep, good. We really like him."
Oh, good.
And I said, "So do we." So that's a good. It's good for all of us all the way around,
It is, and it's nice. Well, thank you for the compliment too, and thank those buyers. But I ran across up at the Agri International. I ran across forget his name now. But anyway, ran across a couple of the buyers. We sat and talked about it a little bit, and I asked them. I said, "What are you gonna? You bought some for $205 a piece. Where do they go with that next, Bruce? Where's the next stage for those guys that have purchased those coyotes?" There's got to be there's got to be money at the end of there somewhere. Where are they going with them?
Well, talking to fur buyers, there's about three places that all of these coyotes end up at, and then from there, then they go to the furrier, and like the $205 coyote, in my own mind, that's very good if you're selling. I don't know if that's a viable price. Well, I don't know if we'll ever see a sale like we just saw, but maybe I'll be wrong, and then, and if you're paying that amount of money for them, the closer you are to the top, the less times they're going to be handled after that. So apparently the buyer that was paying that amount of money for him, he was fairly close to the top, let's say.
Yeah. he knows people is what you're saying.
Yeah. And then, then where they're going, the final destination is probably the next stop from him, because it can't be handled many more times and everybody get their little bit of cut on it. It just can't, it's just, $120, $110, $120, $30 coyote, but that you're getting over that 200. Wow. That's pretty amazing stuff,
Yeah. Well, and they were nice looking. I mean, they were nice coyotes too. And there's no doubt about that.
And they were well handled.
Yeah.
And I talked to the consignor, and then we've had some of our fur handling sessions, and he was at our first handling session last summer at our rendezvous, and he was telling me what he was doing, and it seems like he must have used some of this information that I relayed that I had gotten from another source, and stuff. So they were very well handled, looked excellent.
But that's what you're looking for, and that's why you
Yep.
put on those classes, is because if
Yep.
we can all have higher quality fur and handle it better, it's only going to help everybody out.
Well, when the buyers can come and then they know that there's going to be a good selection of well-handled coyotes, it's better. Oh, geez, I don't want to go there. All they have is a bunch of junk,
Right.
So we're just increasing that facet of the sale by having it,
Yep.
So
I agree. I think, well, I tell you what, this is it'd be nice to see. We had a good crowd in there. Of course, they all have to be members, but yeah, I just telling you, I think it's important for some people to get in and actually see and talk with some of these people and the furs that you have in there. I mean, everything from, geez, we had mink all the way to coyotes. I mean, a little bit of everything is what we had. What's the tone for this next auction? Because, the January auction was coyotes that were harvested in what I call the prime season, November, December coyotes. Anything after that now, I mean, you're looking at January, February coyotes now. Is there going to be still a strong market for that, or is the quality going to be a little bit less?
See, we have some of our producers that, they snare until, let's say, the middle of January or so.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have time to get anything put up. So then a couple of the guys says, well, because when we used to have one sale, can you have it a little later so we have time to get ours put up?
Sure.
No, we wanted it in January. So, and then with the closing of NAFA, we'll get to having the March sale, and we'll pick up a lot of these coyotes that guys used to ship because that was their avenue that they used. Now, we're still going to see a lot of primetime coyotes. Yeah, there's going to be some later ones, but I think we're going to have 500 to 600 that I'm pretty sure of. I knew of here a week ago. We thought maybe we might have 800 in the January sale. We ended up with 1,315.
Yeah.
And so we may have way more than we think we might, but then again, you don't really know.
Yeah, you never can tell, can you?
No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So some tips on fur handling. Okay. Give us some of those tips to make it better. What were those super secret tips that aren't going to be secret anymore?
Well, and then I always wash mine. A lot of people aren't prepared to do that.
Right.
But when you wash them, even if they're not dirty or muddy or bloody, when you do wash them, it's just surprising how much dirt is in them. Anything to get them spruced up to look sharp. And a lot of people use a drum. Well, and that really spruces them on up. It brings the luster out in the fur, so when you walk by it, it catches your eye and not something laying there that's kind of half dirty, a little bit oily, just flat looking. Even though they're a good coat with a little handling, they would be good. But if you get them prepared and then they catch your eye when the buyer's walking by, that's like anything, anything you can do to make them look better, that's what you need to do, and then there's handling. I'm not going to go into a big session right now, but I like washing, fluffing them on up with an air system, and there's drumming. And even if you don't have a drum, you can squirt them down with livestock, horse coat shine, and then throw some grit on them, and then just rub it in manually, and that really brings out the luster in them also. If you don't have a drum, Mm-hmm.
So do you take this much time getting yourself ready in the morning?
No. So
put some mane and tail on and get your luster going there, Bruce. Come on.
Yeah. No. I should do a little more than I do at times, but I guess I'm most of the time presentable, but not a flashy cat.
Question comes in and says, "Can a person pay the $20 the day of the auction, or do you need to pay it earlier?"
Nope. We sign up a lot of people right there.
Okay. Come in, pay your $20, come up to the head table and do that here. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I've got people interested in coming. That'd be nice to see, even if you just want to watch, that, and kind of get an idea on for, I know Waylon's got some kids, and man, you want to get kids involved. Here's a great way to do it, is to see how many furs laying on the tables all over the place, and let them touch it and feel it and kind of get their hands right there with it, and
the one thing that we do, this isn't like a county fair. So, okay, we have the producer comes in, checks them out in, and our main floor where we exhibit them, put them out on the tables for the buyers to go through them.
Sure.
The floor is really not just for the general public to wander through. It's for the buyers, so they have time to look at them, so they can figure out what they want to pay for them, and then if there's one or two people, and if we're at a quiet time with one of the workers, they can go through and kind of show them a few things. But for just the general public wandering through, we're not allowing that, because it would get too congested. We want our buyers every opportunity to go through them and get a fair price for our producers, for our consigners. But then at the auction, when the auction is on, we've got some tables set up, and there is an area that, you can watch the auction. But it's quite noticeable when you walk through, a nice coyote, an early coyote, and well-handled coyote, one that, maybe you just wipe the blood off and put it on the table. It just doesn't have the same look,
That's what I don't have anywhere to wash mine. I don't have anything like that. So that's the kind I'd be bringing in, is that. So
yep.
I got December coyotes I still got to get rid of here, Bruce. You looking at buying some? I'll bring them with.
Well, I guess you're coming to the sale in March there, Scott.
I know, but now I'm kind of worried about bringing mine, because I don't have the luster like you were talking about on mine. So, but they are green skinned. I don't know if that helps or hurts. It doesn't seem like that really made a difference in the January sale.
No,
it really did.
The one thing about it, even if they're green skinned, they're not on the carcass. They just take up so much less room. A coyote carcass is fairly bulky, so.
Well, coming up March 21st, is there check-in on March 20th then? Is that what the deal is?
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we're open at 1:00. We're starting to receive furs on Friday.
Okay.
And we're open, the doors are open till 9:00 to bring them on in, get them checked in. We get them on the table with lot numbers, and the buyers can go through and they start making their notes. And because we do not grade anything, we just put them on the table.
Right.
It's just like when the fur buyer comes to your place, he goes through them, he makes his notes, what he can pay for this lot. And then when we have the auction, we're not walking through like the farm sale and holding up a coyote off of this pile. We're just selling off the sheet of paper on the lots, so it goes relatively smooth and fast, and somebody that knows what they're doing, like you're well aware if there's an issue. We don't move on until that issue is resolved, and we have very few, because it's really a well-run sale. We try and keep it as professional as we can, and you're very good.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's a good time, and it's just a lot of fun getting that out there. I'm excited to see where the prices are going here in the March sale. Really, I hope they stay as high, because that was fun when you're auctioning and you can keep going higher and higher. That makes my day a lot faster.
Yeah, I guess so. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess anything else you want to cover before we let you run here for the weekend?
If anybody has any questions, they can always call me. I can give you my number. There's a answering machine if no one's here. It's about like usual. No one's ever home anywhere. So my number is 701-652-2109. If they want any questions about the sale or getting animals here, or so I'll be happy to answer the questions. So
coffee and donuts and a little bit of lunch too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what is it? Coyote stew? Is that what you're serving?
Yeah, coyote, and then, there's, just like they say, dig deep, puppy on bottom,
Bruce, I appreciate you having a little time for me this weekend. We'll see you. We'll see you heck in about 3 weeks, I guess it'd be, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty, sounds good.
You bet. See ya, Bruce Williard from North Dakota Fur Takers. Again, the wild fur auction is going to be March 20th is check-in. March 21st is the actual auction. Burley County 4-H Center in Bismarck. Hey, speaking of Bismarck, the Friends of NRA banquet tonight at the Bismarck Eagles Club. Doors open at 5 o'clock. And just making sure I'm checking through all my messages here to make sure I cover everything that's out there. The Schrieffer Red Angus bull sale coming up your way as well. That's going to be Thursday, March 12th at Stockman's Livestock in Dickinson. I'll be there on the floor. Me and Jesse will be out on the floor and having a little fun, getting some Red Angus sold. And the DK Red Angus sale, March 7th on Saturday, coming up here in 2 weeks. We'll be in Williston at the Sitting Bull auction and having fun with the Kiefler family, Scott and Connie up there at the DK Red Angus sale, March 7th. And Sitting Bull auction, Williston, North Dakota. If you have any questions, comments, always check out my website, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. Have yourself a great week and enjoy. Thanks for tuning in. All right, stations, thank you so much. Have yourself a good weekend. YouTube, thank you guys for tuning in here. I'm closing up a couple things here. There we go. And thanks for doing that. Make sure you share or like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Little by little, I'll be able to do more on my mobile side of things and have a little bit of fun with some YouTube videos that way. But until then, please subscribe. Have yourself a great weekend. Enjoy.